then I me refisa na aduane PAC di ne birthday na me refi enti mpacho ma me nana osi ade yo Ajima Bedu the second omahene doma na me bunu ya afan na me kura dia hunjam huntete me bunu him nsrone homa me nka bunu mintimi nka jama me de kekura ya do treated afrafra doma fo ho mfa ne saa manim asase paso nti miwra osagifo Ajima Bedu the second omahene doma ahenkru doma ansase nyina basunya ni nyina mea bi ni nyina ni doma abisim ohene ye ma wotiri nkwa ye ma wodapa nyame nhiraw nti ne ye de aduana ayuja manim asase paso nyame nhiraw papa panana nanum so be nyina wechi gina panakoso a ma wahini enye krabehwe na pija doma mane ma amanfo hu se aduana ayuja mpa nti nana bono hi ai ma short but minim se ma ya ade kakra wo de ma akeme me yehwe we de enye law si Papa George mama akeme kese ma akeme kakra bi nti o ma hene do ma ahinkro nana ye ma wa woda pa ye ma woti nkwa na etwam so ntwam ye ni week nyina na mefre me kase me ba fia me bo akwala ntimi nhye pani bo a oni so but mefre na yabonkomo meda azelvo gase enemi blazer fefefe azel nsano no bi enono ohunu kama sa o se ya taje fatano azel no o wadaje ma me say said you beto ne bo ase adwidwi no wa o hwa o se yes anas sometime on fam mantem but sometimes for the bantem na the customer service ne die auntie ya said you be free wa krokro or you smart and intelligent girl or to send madam Azel Vogue na nkasa enti contact Azel omo na ye deliveries ne ma wo e wo he ye deliver ma wo de be bro bi anim Azel de on stress wo enti na ya na me kamfo ne ma wo no we wuti office na wo hye wade a wo hu ne fe kama timpacho contact Azel no sort you out. Friend 0244 155 266 0244 155 266. Mitini die adwa beti nyame ama we de nyame ama dia but cute cat for ya almost yen style ma no ma style ama me ho ayefe enti Franca ene ne madam Sandra medamo asese ya mu style mitini ma me kama pa abedwa fo atenase no penye wani tu ya fellow Ghanaians enra wote die de opesa otia na ase na akabi wum sisi ade said ya the fellow Ghanaians esi yamane bye say last update na no president de maye no eno kan me fu asem so kakra na wo hwe mo over the weekend yema akese mienu na president ye Elmina Fashion Hub na eno so okopa ho ntuma 80 million euros e wona ase na wo true jobs kakra wo ho ye beja ma abedwafo no mo a o maka wo masem e wo ho afei minority na wo munna mo to bi o mutu nte no pay chronicle busa se payback time na adani say minority a wonu mo vetting committee and appointment committee ni so mrachi bedwe fie se owuraja chi question asen nof mrachi bedwani no a ye se yenyi ni din fi nwuma ni mukura nye se wa ama hobi kura no wo mu se ne nasem no ankasa no case ni nyina ne judgment no ba yi ni nyina mo pe full judgment no na kam ka se ne de wo lawyer wo be kire be a lawyer for ne omunya judgment ni fi adan na gise ma minya ba ansa na wo ma approve ni justice tokonu a ya boni din a okopie wo mani mu ana wo montoto na no na afi vice president Bosha Washe be possible na laptops to replace textbooks in SHS se ano se dia no be sha ase afia o be sha ase this academic year wa afia mu se into school for ne brother ni a nanso adane hu bi nti wo mu nyina ba be call laptops siampom for grab mu ya masters wo ni laptop shwa but yes when you dream big. It's good to have ambitions nti ye be ye ni say na abam anye yano asem keke na se briba mu a afedie owura Freddy Blay GMPC board chair na no wodwa na no but ene de o se wa horo ne nsa e wo ho e wo de ho a petrol essay ene GMPC for deal o hwe Friday one hwe Friday ene e ya hwempu ni mpu repeat ne ne CSO sini bi kasaye CSO 29 na wo mu say da bi opani dia na wo yi ade e de kaba na ye ton na ade we mfa camera nti ko ton 50% e de na administrative require de na wo bo che wo na wo kofre petrol SF so wo mmra meto ade minister okra manfo chia wa manfo se wa ya ade na bi si jajama ya didi agya no Missy Ghana for Friday me we ade na me so minister na ya ade papa no ba no so cross minister na ya ade energy minister asem na omo kan sa no owura na post papa na ya ade krata wo otwoko mama mpe na che say ade no resist on pini so ha amanfo si jama na didi agya wom so nya bi di yanko me kan say Ghana kosi ankosi koda sisi ayenye muden but sa na amanfo ke minister enti wo nya bi ani no say sia me menya bi ani ne nko Unko eni Ghana na nyame ne eda nanse enti we ni nsem ano pay ngebedi ho enkomo on kwa na ba face lawyer Adekye opani kwasi ada Adekye founder union government en wo shemfinfini no lawyer Chum Berima ever one wo kita business man fooding on so awankoye business no odi edi lawyer we Chum Berima lawyer NDC communication team member kane Mpima Ablekuma Central Honorable Ebenezer Nati nidi ni nyina na nse biakam tetenate ana chai nati ana bibi wo Ebenezer Nati watina si wakochin san ni na nati I felt like it didn't biakam I feel no wabe obenam say no na bu na de hawa manie se wayera ye ntai hu no abisan fo ya mamo akwaba
yenya
bibi aboko de
anyame go so shiraye
de nyame ase moje so simple si na yakontem enti your excellency union government
yes
ye ko won
na bebo aga
okay enti yenhwe unya ma ye ya president Akufo-Addo na wo hoyi unya na montu weekend wa ye niam akese mienu wo Elmina fishing harbor no obi ano osina former president Mahama so ntimi nye odanyame ase so ote ase no wo hu se nana beye waye abem ene enra fellow Ghanaians last update ya odemaye etil sen
yo da sabechia etifo a wo ma jebra wo muti ene enra yura na Akufo-Addo a Constitution of Ghana amended ne say oni o man anim enaka kraka yi akabe 1 year 6 months will be there about na odi ndumadi abelebe na so hwe enra eya fishing habona na ekopa ho ntoma no eyo mamuni nyina ejapade but you reduce the development of the nation, no, to a partisan interest. Say Ghana, ye bibia akoye partisanship. And the union government say, sa and tokwana eda ho no a ede abe albatross on the nation, no. Union government any the only cure I be kan ye nyina bom. Say nipa ba akoni adwene together. Because obia akoya de be person take credit for himself and for the party.
Na wunya ma Ukraine na wo gasansi union government
say you know Ghana for nyina union government just say Ghana ni bia owo pe se osom ne man no en share papa da wa wo betim dia som ya no so Ghana for nyina dey decide
nice
enya president ba akufo no beda benyane a wo se Messi Cathedral mupo Messi Cathedral fishing aboy a good project ye nyina ni je ho but oman bia no say ade bia wo je bosia akoye no because sika we eye bosia
okay
and your money nyina aka
80 million euros no
your money nyina aka na your money nyina aka no I was say you invest every loan ayeje I was self financing project fishing about self financing because a generative revenue but most of the loans ayeje o ma we no and just self financing you just kwese be bia yenya returns on our investment. That is why you can compound wa bedu baby ababedu because you can bosia besia yesika yeje e de koye adwuma na etimi adwuma ni timi wu sika no emi e de kotua ka no etua ni interest na wa akɔgye yɛn so wɔnya bi di atɔ aduane adi eti busia nya de ye gye kɔhye baabi a ɛmfa sika ɛno antimi ntua ne ho ka sɛ bi sika bi a ɔbɛgye a antimi ntua ne ho ka no ɛyɛ reckless borrowing. The essence of borrowing is say me gye sika akɔyɛ adwuma na di mfaso aba na mfaso na de bɛba no ɛbɛtuma mama tua busia na me kɔgye ye no ɛne ɛho nsi ho but if 1992 ɛba no yɛn bɛn for no move away from this definition ya media bay into political gimmick say me kɔgyina ma ya me aka say ma ya ade say ɛde mfaso bɛbrɛ wo man no say ɛmfa mfaso ɛmrɛ wo man no say busia na betumi atua aka no say busia ni ntimi ntua aka no omo nhwɛ hɔ all that they want to do ni say omo bɛma amanfo hu say ma ye we ntimo nto aba man it most of projects are yɛn bɛn for kɔgye busia ye no dodo na anya self financing eti sika no kwa na akwa akoloko na beka ye ka hwe bibi te say sinohydro agreement ya ne channel for ye ne say ye wo box side ye be fa box side na fa fidiem amana dane aluminium channel for ye be ma aluminium na mo so mo de aba be ye mpuntuduma amaye first tranche na ba yamfa nkwa aluminium smelting industry ho kra
ine ye ne den
ya disika no ama abeka China ye ka de wo China ne
eye bosia na e free
sinohydro me bi na de koye interchange ne sa no man what dey koye interchange but agreement ne say wo be ma me box side aluminium box side refining into aluminium
okay
na say odi ka akora to ase a why be na say ko ekwan e be fa so a ye be si factory no na yetimi de China for and share no ye do mu di ama wo
okay
obe na akwaje bosia was me akoto past questions amankora yesu ade I mean it will share
aba no bi kwaje bosia
ara woni ko mana na akoto past questions ma
no the bosia na koto
na ye woska Ghana ya running at a deficit o man ye ni sika eti ade bia ye bia no edaka so
I see
eti se o kwaje bosia na akoto past questions a your friend just for hand time one kasa no bibi how but you want to show to the whole world say who ye bibi COVID-19 and na obechichiri mu say economy na we need the last first segment of
updating
and we should need the last segment of fellow Ghanaians sister the one say I'm a for say COVID is kind of by the moon now. A moon now, Emma Ghana for any we are seeing her. Because at a certain point, the say you are spending 17 billion about or yeah, the State of the Nation address. Carofora Tako Parliament was spending 12.4 billion. You're about me on one private sooner, if you may recall. Also say about
onu kwantimi e ne private
we be
I see
I'm talking of Pentecost for auditorium bi
oh sir
e wo Kaswa area
e bi Pentecost for no come retreat e no mo friend
there be rent what the program
oh I see e no two din so and I said your kasa and
say o address the nation yes
okay
eti also the to say you are spending 8.2 billion
okay
eti so we share disparities e wo sika ba ko a aban ba ko wa wo spending na e for say mu na ho Ghana for say papa mu na ho but enam ehye boni a 1992 constitution we I repose excessive powers on the executive arm of government obowura legislature no akoye de ope obowura judiciary no akoye de ope no eno na aka bomu ama ene obi bedi akonwa wo Ghana ha na dwin na se akonwa bi a ato no abedi a wo ye de hia Ghana fomum na esom no se omu adwin omu de ba ban mu no it's not about say me ba be some manfo but Ghana fomum e be some me nua ba me de ma no e besie no
okay
IMF na do say IMF 8 me ye ka ye hawa ewo sisi emfrio emprimpri ya eti yakokoye den yakọ 17 times yetimi mfa bottle we enchire wiase se IMF yakọ 17 bottle we kura yenya afiri mu da ade bia ni ho a eye a friend say tangible a ebetimi dia chire wiase se IMF 17 ayakọ no ade we na ade abrɛ na ba bia wokɔ a ufiri mu a je so sa akọ obiem untimi ne wo ufiri mu a je so sa akọ obiem untimi ne wo. Can't we do as a nation a national introspection? Na yenhwe because I sincerely believe say yenhwe ya efri 1992 ye dibu my do IMF enya efri 1992 eba na yakọ. Partisan democracy it has caused more harm to this country than good. Nana do say IMF no enya na be solve a problem on train plan B na what you better do because you have a problem solved.
Okay.
Ghanaians are demanding better economic environment. It is a president now no what say boss say what the akobo sha asase no. What say sa IMF no okay e-levy mu say e-levy ba Ghana kwa nyina ebe ye no e-levy no rose e-levy ba obi ahụ beto no e-levy aba akusi aga. Hey IMF ba ya wie IMF about your problem you never solve. IMF aba papa na asa beto na nimu say ye ha no IMF entimi ye mfiri. Eti plan bi be na wo dey ba on board.
La ma mintie o e president two major events I see over the weekend.
Apparently me the video na you know quite man should be but
the hin na wan should be Enra fellow Ghanaians update. Okay.
I'm sure.
Now be wa hu krata no.
Oh, said the okay United.
Okay.
You're very responding accordingly. Fishing harbor. I mean, all through jobs over there. It's becoming too much of him. One guy who say about you 12 years. Now it is time for you to work.
Any politics na moye.
And American say you talk about number 1 year that. You are in your 7th year or 6.5 year, whatever. You can't grab no worry. Okay. Sabre no with jobs and you you are just supposed to be working for us and giving us accounts on what my way. Your tenure is almost ending.
But Monsumu teche na moye modie. O flag bearer
or because you want to come to power. Oh, the power not to so that. So yours is just to be working.
Okay.
Yeah, you make a sort of asa. And I feel about 2 jobs as we are all these things are now for Baumi and Co. to be doing that. Would there be out here no you're more master you just work and let us see the work that you are doing and come for and that's all yard. And but never been enjoy and pay Emanubia, no never we are paying you for you to work. So just do the work and then at the end of the day, you're back at us with my and I say and that is the only thing we are expecting from you. But what's saying everyone know what they said we sign dinner platforms to do this now we campaign there. You push us to also come after you. What does it? And they are the organ. Now the issue on COVID, our man who address telling us it has more or less ended. And there we know, I mean the World of Organization for I communicated about 3 weeks ago, I think almost a month ago, say communication by within a month or something. So it's not more than a month, So in sign but now me expect to say Kokasa, said there be a woman did one more a buying could be a DBA COVID. No, at least for once, you'll be bold to tell Ghanaians what he benefited from COVID. Because the idea we see was as be positive and negative. Yes, be we any one but ni won so add na papa bi bra abra Christopher me bwana. So what I say, and this or no, so COVID by ya. In spite of the fact say bit attract you kum crofo bebre. Bebre na so call echo mo kra chi. I know I mean some people that I even know personally. Nam COVID so one mo hwere mo kra echo ye. Those are part of the negative things about as so. If we are not even Ghana alone. So ni nyina abesenko. Na it sounds like the positive side be by. I see Kabia no one that's why nyina say between account set me kan. Yet kromo aye no say the IMF ni any World Bank see omsi wan sit. They will hardly call you and give you certain monies, I mean, as some kind of silver platter. And see, you are 3 billion buy Yakope. If you want some good more, I've been Ghana for best one. But within that time of COVID, you will see how do a buy. Ghana from particular. And sorry, the Pentecost, MTN, Wine, Bank of Ghana, name them, several institutions. Okay? So many people contributed to COVID and the COVID fund are creating. When you're saying, what in body? I was talking to Jessica what the COVID levy by, what you want to 12 permanent. Send when you're from so far. Oh, but I second because we close to COVID. You closing the idea the by the second that didn't clutch the Ghana for. Now, what the now tell me I would free anybody who could be. But I say I know you will not talk about it. Uncle once. COVID is the car by ye. It will be number that top person and a moche. Mocha said this way as you can wire chairman for.
I want him a Ghana for
now one tiana more. Say nothing original said then the parliamentary candidate no concern may be na wo do buy a wo mo chesika no obi ade e wonya and the cast of them. They couldn't come out to to deny that. Wo mo ntwa me ya no ba pumene. So it's true. They were sharing the money. Me na me free Kumasi e ba enkran. Ana me duru osi no. That was the day I say easy for e be one window before. Yeah, and if we try say enko one day bi. Okay. I think 2020 was when I'm making.
Okay. Prior to the election.
Prior to the election. Or two didn't. So I think around October, November, will be a one day window. Be man. Woman if that day. Na me ntro me di because I'm training na me dia. So me do osino na me okay. So that time no am because me am doing cran ansa na makotro me dey na traffic akọ have na me jan nyento na me nya no wa. Ana me ko osino Judiciary assembly say me koye. Na me nim be a easy office. I thought normally you find them around assembly. Na me ka say ho no what me ko assembly was me kotro me dey. Me do na me pack me cap na branch ba me nchen. Also your MPP coordinator. Na first question we am say I say oh ba jisika ni bia na. Ana me say osika ba yin me dey me kwa me hu kiu na wa me am me ka say ni bo yin betro ni ne dey me nyam free am bonko. Ana me say na lie we ni nyam mo e betro mu din yisi photo din na mo tie na so da BC office kwa na nya hampo ne wo. So he then redirected me na we dey we dey mo e ba jisika. So your coordinator, the coordinating for Abajiska. So you can just walk to it.
Say is cabin.
COVID is got the agenda, is got the agenda. Yeah. And now tell me guys I'm from 14 numbers Majiska. One thing.
Papa lawyer.
Mami.
So we dey nka wampa evidence in the room.
Oh, na me tell
say Majiska ni bia na wa musa ni say is cabin.
Sika na me tell we ya. Say
enko. Na who one oba won cha na dey
I'm telling you.
Assembly on amanfo nko.
Minim. But exactly what they see here na make tell we ya. In control finish. As I said, nti ono bona o say the patrol understand directing ba bia easy office wo.
Okay.
E ma me call. So that's it. You know, yet from our TV, people were asked to bring 10 numbers. What they came from as well when they make it. See
I see.
What I say? 14 number bra. What the 10 number and bar of Ubanyes Kennedy. They said we were giving out loans to them, but funny enough, but I won't say up to near it. Why don't you loan be back? They gave it a name, loans. Fine, no problem. Find that just alone.
Through which organization?
Was it?
Through which organization? Because
so they don't
want lock the man who bet you back. If you no more another entity, be no more the boss small scale, any medium for anyway.
Martin, they are now the boss small scale. Most of the people I mean, some community of American was. I mean, large people. Women are small scale for I mean, smaller for the medium enterprise for as American. So we know. But my question is, yeah, we want in a chair back. If it was a loan, simple. Sign that you are signing about added in the back. So also who close to COVID and win some. It means as a cutting body in China, it means by anyone to do saying loans with COVID Sicano. In about 1,000 loans. Yeah, the man in the moon 900 net here. As at now, no more can say. With me can be such a one. He can't talk about this.
COVID tax and free.
What does he? Empty, sir. One man very now or the animal any cassa. None of my way seeing now, ya what me moment to print me to and try. Baby and anybody could do another kind of COVID about he said any idea whom you said whom can and that and once I mean I echo from one and upon with my catcher but I won't say and my man would we ask me where she COVID are to 2 women be in when now you COVID tax but to Chroma upon the COVID no good you was so you what do you yeah so or can my answer I am a being so can also.
What time is it here?
Oh, so there 2 minutes.
35 you.
2 minutes. I'm maintaining you. Then finally, a year with my must say IMF is going to restore confidence in our economy. When I read that, Miss Rekakra, that didn't my Miss I thought going to IMF was seen as some kind of criminality. Yeah. IMF they say the incompetent ones in pen ko I win man ka dompe ko do bongo man maso woman na IMF.
So he did also say all konona a painful decision man. Oh, some of the papers.
Na painful decision man take on the take here.
Aye.
But so we ma dey ko IMF when I can be actually we were overspending.
Return to IMF was a painful decision.
Thank you, Mate. But idea back when they call her back into a man returning back and said, I according to the same IMF now for which I almost say we are problem no part of what you overspending.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, says come and so. How many times have people cautioned this same Akufuado's government about the spending for the behavior? Who have flight now to me, I can tell master, and we here cut down your expenditure. He wasn't listening to anybody. We are in IMF today because of reckless borrowing and spending. Again, the same World Bank came back to Ghana 2020 February. And the World Bank member warned and said the rate at which a year bought this year the currency and Kasua, Ghana will become a debt distressed country. Indeed, this government, as reckless as they are, refused to listen to that advice. 2022 June, and the World Bank declared Ghana say you're better than a debt distressed country. And none of them would declare that they have to go to IMF. So IMF now say painful decision. It is painful because you didn't listen to advice. It's painful because you became reckless along the line when people were advising you and you refused to listen. Lastly, 2020 you have COVID by World Bank the IMF me look come and the policy we are the Debt Suspension Services Initiative DSSI. So policy only by say am I na a minimum. The Paris Club can need that they can am subscribe. Near two can for about 6 years. Yeah. This government sat down here in this country, refused to join. I'm a penny no down the say, and one pass Ghana and Nigeria. And you need to be home free policy no countries in the idea. But almost said, one code some few years after, just 2 years after 2022, you be at 2020 May, I don't be a policy. And then July 2021 June also, and I didn't end it. 2022 June. And I feel a coming wife and everything to so IMF back. But the same thing I said, and man can bring free some years ago, which is the suspension service now. I want subscriber. And I feel now we'll patch out to do it. How you suspending your domestic debt to postpone it to a different time or date? Going back to the Paris Club, now you are going back to them, begging them through the the missions or whatever. So so we are in IMF today not because of the painful decision that you took, but because of your recklessness. That's why we are there.
Honorable Nate, Yanko.
Yeah, me that say, my main fa akonya we nso na menchia yahwefo anana pay. Na menchia menuamu mpanimfo amene omo ha. Also na men ka wo say nkan ha ya ti he. So ka unyamema na mutinkan ha. Oyim film anya yi nti so wan hwe we kira me kira kwan a omo ho eba bedu yi ebe din so benya pepuredi na bi go ton ka dokun bi amama o ma ja uton
mate
je ya hwe me kira kwan
mate
in fact lawyer the first time I share no obema talk o ma sorry matter equal Presby Church in fact and maybe send a question that day. So now say answer na me obi timi nkan say akwa we NDC ni. But he did a very good presentation, and I realized that the presentation no baby owo no nje nti me bonya me mpa say nyame be ma no adwin sachira. Yeah.
Yes sir.
The main issues bakon ID kan president a commission Elmina fishing ports Saturday and a year energy sem in a sense say only say you were about 2 ports your water crade secondary there no and a waterma in the vision of the president no I decided say in this government no on also they are saying him say there are 2 areas on also feel say you to minya port e wo ho a e betumi eden aboan e fishing port Jamestown and Elmina. As I'm speaking with you now, no, uko Jamestown se say ana, bibi adwuma no akwa kodu no, me very optimistic say by the end of this year or next year no president ebe akobie eno so ano na yen so ye won kan ha ene yan o yedi enamusu edwa no won so eden anya ho benefit na elimina de no me hwe kakra ema me hwe ohene no elimina ohene abra all money open remarks to show appreciation to the government of the Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Say, ene, it has come to reality. Abededi say, nia, yese on to me nyeno, ampa, ababa eden, ababeye. Utie ohene na, or say, President Kufuor time, ene ye ka se babe si fishing port e de amom. All the processing in me say biano ye ankosiaga unfortunately no na President Kufuor amemu den e free so 8 years of NDC administration 8 years of NDC administration they didn't see the light of the fishing port. Nanado e ba be show mo boss say nyame eye na adoma na obey president we e na obey. And indeed on the 20th of August 2022 20 Eko sword for the construction of the Elmina fishing port. Oko yen su kokati ye no yebe she adwuma ase less than 3-4 months later the former president John Mahama eko in the campaign in 2020 election eka say o nye ka se ba be ye no entumi enye ye because e Sakawa port and e ka se ba be si. These are the words of the chief expressing his gratitude to the Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
So, former President Mahama Akasa, Chief Akasa, and na ebi motiselo ya akase, and can no cry sign with Tidada, Udia wapa home to Mary. Bruni says seeing is believing, say yes, come, and yes, can dear Nisono, or no openings are no sa, as a Casenchine, a Kutia Bossano. Yeah,
we enye Ekutiabo. Lawyer Ekasano. Lawyer Eka say, we a friend is saying there's no need. But the EPSA say it is need because of what we said. And who can be? In fact, lawyer Eka say, who can say any politics na if you are doing your campaign, when you go about and say things wow, ni say a reality. Now say a reality. Na se nyame ya madom na se me ya I prove to you say metumi aye dia aka se me ntumi nye. We're in this country when we were campaigning in 2012 2016 e can say nyame ya adom na se ye ba akonya mu a ye best start free sessions. We have people in NDC e can say it is not possible until 20 years. It's ye ba ye na ye e betumi aka say the ade aka se ntumi nye in 20 years no e na ye na ye no. So if you go and campaign to people and tell them say as a former president, o to be kokasa o ade amom okaso ma be oboa on to me nye oye Sakawa oye say na me be ya that's what Nado Eka say odanyankopon asese President Mahama eda so etiase ama we hu say ade o say eye Sakawa on to me nye no na wa ba be ye. It is clear. So it is not about being politics. It is not about say oh jabbing the park. It's about you reminding the person who kind of say nya say mean to me nye no eno na ne ya ye. I am hoping and believing say Elmina Port ebe yield a very good result to the good people of Ghana. Not only on more Cape Coast Bay, but me jidi say the infaso eye den e de bebre. Excellency e can say obo president Abaso e can say oh ade we die e de sik ebetumi eye den atua huka. Yes, I agree perfectly with him. These are places at the end of the day, no. Nkofo edomu your friend is Shemani sa we ni kwa ebeje hu emfaso. And there will be a lot of activities ebe koso wo. So me I applaud the president for the good job done, as well as the minister for transport and then the minister for fisheries for Ejumakesi. I'm hoping and believing say you betumi ahwesu. One major problem we have in this country, which me they be ameka ho asem, maintenance. Our maintenance culture in this country is very bad. Very bad. And I'm hoping, say, in a year or 2 or 3, you be call honum no, send a year huno, sa na be wako huno. ba ye mo yen ko ha sebi ube come washroom kapo a ye dey friend say aboy den ato sink ni so but whether we go there and see say nyama ye dey ahye honom no ebetumi ade emfaso ye den e dey abreye as a country. It is very important say ye betumi oh
so rack kind of react. 55 me so me church which I say she Adekye 825 we 835 lawyer 835 845 you 845 845 I don't work it me church me say me some back accuse me to me church me ya na me church no it's evidence you wey fi ho say see ano da ben no penny for ya tabeko social media sana nkofo bisa say na say we be deal no won kwai
I say we dey enka topics no
IMF deal no say fellow Ghanaians aba
me conclude with IMF na my answer question yeah IMF but before IMF no president any year kasai and then me tami upa ba me hu
answer me ba be chiechi yenya notice ni late entia
me ya papa
oh fache notice
na me know na maso na ka me frosa na ya won ba be kan be chiechi mu man kofo ntia ase
fache
and no president ebe man yen ni fellow Ghanaians o shase abra na ye call covid mu aye se akwara se umame sumawo ana papa sumawo etwa se odi anu ye den edu koma no
okay
so abra ye wo ahohehia mu ye wo difficult time as a country no oni ye obe man ye updates day in and day out ne esese ye anamo esese ye tu niam esese ye nyina no o de betu wo se ene na me ya adom na se nyame bie kwan ama yetumi akra ye ho abesi ene ama covid ene me ne ukase se na ehya ase a ete no antibiom no na etwa se obmampani eba den esanso ebeda ya ase na oche ye bebia ye den ya bedu ya you can bear witness say there's no country meaning omaya sebi covid I affect you ebimo death row especially a place like Italy and then US and then even China owo the sebi nipa to me what is say nkoko but ye had them there we were able to manage the covid as expected in as much say ebimo shiro mo kwan minim say covid time enya e baha na kene yenya nipa 9 na ha na wa fa nipa mienu na obi a usu tini say obi ti boligana ebi su tu your friends na vrongo na obisa questions but we were able to manage it. There's no institution obeko ho a sebi they in fact measures put in place to ensure say covid no you better managing the year, but in all aspects no we're able to manage it, and that is what the president Ebabeye no said bebe nyankopon ani ya ba den nie medino Ebenezer bebe nyankopon ani ya ba den abedu, and we have been able to manage it in a way that aboye in as much say in the time of covid no ye hu chiri no yetumi managing. Then he talk about IMF.
And then you cannot talk about IMF because I've been generous. I've given you 1 extra minute. Sorry.
30 seconds.
Debbie.
Any answer question again?
One or the whatever day. Facebook Live. Esiama Van Dyke Claude or say Ghanaians, my fellow brothers and sisters, NDC and MPP will not help us. Let us give a new government party a chance. The youth is the future. And your union government in Aobe.
All the way.
Let me commend the NPP government for the construction of the Amina Fishing Harbour. This is the type of government Ghanaians want, not government that would deceive Ghanaians with artistic impressions in Greenberg. Alaji Aminu, yeah, look at the edifice. The Amina Fishing Harbour, NPP will definitely break the 8. Aidu Shadrach is wishing his dad, John Kofi Aidu, a happy birthday. Fantastic Wilberforce, Seshia Sanyoneso, I'm urging Dr. Baumia and his economic management team not to use the IMF money to organize Kenke party. We know what they can do. Okay. Leviticus, Sammy Kwe, Leviticus Paris Kaswa, good morning. Please tell the NDC, leave the NDC man in the studio and say yours. Osman Kobna Okwan, let me fantastic, so I read yours. Moya Safi into me can card the animal. Hail Salasi patriotic voices, God. So Regards to Honorable Nsroma saying the next president, Ghana's economy will surely bounce back to normalcy, so Ghanaians should have patience and confidence in the NPP government. And then Danso Samuel, but I wish I have enough money to finance my education abroad, just so I will see what is being taught in those big universities. Upon all these educated, decorated leaders here, we are begging from people to countries whom again most of their money direct and indirectly from low-minded agreements signed by our leaders. I hope it's making sense. Me I mentioned that Ablade fear kuma. If corona is no longer in the system, then they should stop taking COVID-19 tax. How can we be taxed for something that no longer exists? I'm not a spokesperson, but I think that said the WHO can no. Enye emergency enye hwehwe biem enti enye say any system ni mu e wo ho but iti ano I ti say wa benya normal code no enti monka ne sa na yenhu enti enye hwehwe nanso yenka say yetu yade na say minim said the senra no said the president can no tia won tia say no but me cheche mu ye from said the Nansen World Health Organization because say it's no more a global emergency. Then Sky, the money distributed to some people as loan during the COVID era was propaganda because they didn't create any repayment plan. Okay, so buttressing what lawyer was saying. Shipman Osei Natunsu, I commend the president for the address yesterday. I'm very optimistic that government would put things right and bring the economy back on track again. NDC is never an alternative. Royal Gabi, if you come a quick reminder, the Sakawa fishing harbor has been commissioned by Nanado for the good people of Elmina. Kudos to Nanado and the NPP government. And then Lampre Ken Rashid Yakrama, what the president said is needful because we are living in a political village. Okay, that's yours there. Francis Odoba, good morning, Obaya. It's so intriguing, this president, instead of telling us how much he and his government got during COVID and account to us what and where they spend the monies, why are we cap in hands begging just to qualify for borrowing money? NPP is just 419 and fracadam. So, and then Charity Grant says NPP doesn't need green book for any evidence. It's exactly 9 o'clock and then we are going to, is it payback time? I don't know what's chronicle friend of payback time. No. Now, lawyer, meant you, minority in parliament. We are lawyer, ni say court to the same way, not judgment bar. A hen free. I didn't know minority for say this woman saka, or question full judgment in answer na say womo beje ma metoko no atomo margin atom. All right,
yeah, Yencham said all the other courts except Supreme Court, when they give their judgment, they give what they call the reasoning or the ratio decadent die.
Okay.
And I don't know what the judgment anybody on sign. I mean, you don't once you get the judgment from the registrars and you get everything that or sometimes we can be pronounce the key things in the extra and then court registry where you get the full judgment as some maybe a week or sometimes within a week or sometimes 2 weeks.
Okay.
But the Supreme Court is the only court that my judgment now we're postponing the reasons.
Okay. Okay.
And then
High Court no obema ni nyina so.
Omo no akopum
the entia or the court of appeal.
Up to court of appeal, woman or man, what the reason no attach.
Or no etimi dia temu ni but matemu ni na emom the entia dia temu we buy any dia.
What we postpone it. They're not about a later date.
Okay.
So basically what the minority ebisa ni nyina say my reason the judgment no.
Adan jachi question dey no sa na ye ya na.
Yeah, reason ni my.
Okay, omo dia temu na ba.
Reason atemu na ba. I mean the narrative is in the woman ba. So that's it, but the actual reasons behind it no. Until mom take his decision almost and that's no my. Okay. So that's that qualify. Which is right. I mean, once they have been in court and a court have made a pronouncement on your matter, you need to know why the court arrived at that conclusion or decision.
But you're not mommy or panel of judges.
Okay. No come. And in person on now where she's going to know.
Sanity,
I mean,
Chief Justice.
Chief Justice in India. Everything is now under your orders. So orders. In Tinanimpo, once I know in so for just the role at the bench. Name all for a sort of partner there. Bibian assembly ku we bekra. But we didn't put the issue rate. So what I say, and you assembly ku we baba bekra. For that reason, you busa no anasa wonka so nkofamra. And so won hwe so won sa betimi aka. Anya kwambo ne so.
Me da say.
But
unye to aso. What the to aso 5 minutes here unko. Why you should 3 aka 2.
Na ya time no nkwa na time I say na say me start 9 to ya. 1 minute
mo. Start 9. Me ya say it's 9 o'clock. Let's go to our second issue no. Now person time bi ado your host ni bi.
Anyway, so my last point on the CJ ne vetting, and me call very with all respect to her and the entire bench at the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And it's a mestre. Yeah, in the past 2021, 2022, there has been a report from the U.S. Department of States.
Okay.
And the BBS report in Babano, what they say about our judiciary is so bad. Very bad.
When was the last time a last one buy?
Oh, and I 2022 they no buy in.
Okay.
And this year about main months, but I think about at most 2 months.
Okay.
At most. But me say bedroom.
Oh, buy no mo say then.
Yeah, you see them citing, for instance, you could justices, no, and as a judge, so we pay justice, and as before so being attention, you know, make answer. I was saying, Nipano, a Tiesica. I mean, you pay money to get favorable judgments.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
said one so angry more on my every year they bring it out. Almost it borders on human rights.
Okay.
That report now once the money you say when they finish this report, they publish it on their website. So we America, no person bagana be age man, no bagana be age maybe not open information ya. They will believe in the Department of State's report than say we also me website be that room or can free so. Yeah, that's what I say. And when such things or such information are being gathered about our country, and especially about judiciary, we can't just turn a blind eye on it. Because corruption, if say my crime money the judiciary anymore, yeah, not so minor and na I know. Yeah, never be. So my only call, I'm a madam and say, you mean I don't know so you're to be one. But we will be able to be better. One natural crown or man the fight on judicial corruption and key focus.
Perception on judicial corruption and answer judicial corruption.
Yeah, you see, somebody may say it's a perception.
Okay.
Another person too may rely on something that he or she may know, which may defeat the fact that it's not just a perception, but it may be a reality.
Okay.
So that's it. It's in whether it's a perception or it's a reality. Oma one yet idea what the ben is dear pa. Na what me aboma sap I mean adwemponu and nedi atragana atisia man no e be free.
Thank you. 5 minutes now so only last be I will 2 other topics. Yes, honorable.
And the time in the woman I can't kaka issue back on say identity no nationalism. How the madam answer the man na me na nti na mpesa ka me come dey
nationality sem be man fa nationality ama
I don't topic no.
Oh, and come was a Supreme Court in someone you
nationality I say na mu be hu nationality say nationality sem na problem.
Oh yeah.
It's a kind of woo ye nyina mo amanyofo mo ho ahomte wo Ghana do.
Ye ho nya homte.
But
me say come akwa me kan bi an gavet mas.
Sa wo dey hwe say ewie na time kakra no akan no. Yes, honorable.
I'm say me had the opportunity to watch the vetting of newly appointed Chief Justice and Madame Tokonu, and I was so much impressed. Mrs. Impressed about, I mean, her intelligence. I mean, in the school, or now also call Wesley Girls. Very intelligent woman.
Oh no.
Very intelligent.
Come for me. Na me walk on jumping. I catch me say me.
Very intelligent woman, and you can see, say, she's really on point, and was able to answer every questioner Yebisano. I'm so much impressed about it. My only worry with the stand that a minority for no Adekye. And you see, we have to be very careful, because on one breath, almost say they will not almost exam committee so abisane questions. But say omo beji atum say yen confirm and am confirm, they won't do it until say the verdict and I judgment or Supreme Court no Omosaka judgments no I go through. So the question I ask myself, until Munya judgments now we go through, are we going to go back and vet her again? There was the essence of you coming.
No ma bet national. Until na me ma lawyer yi in the political channel to ho no ya den so cheche mu say na etie. You don't think that they have a case that give us the reason or the full judgment, let us go through near so
yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Over here on about yarega. Edu no so no. Obusa ye o kan de the reason dey no kan say ne saka and obenya opportunity to ask the woman further questions. So which means that there may be an opportunity for her to maybe appear before them again.
Because omu no be a cho ne judgment enko. Say be ma me judgment or cho ye ni mu no.
I mean total na no.
That's the say. After getting the judgment and going through, if you have any question, is it going to tell speaker, say, we couldn't get opportunity to ask her this question, so let her come back and let her ask those questions. It's not possible. It's possible. It is not possible. There's no way say you are vetting the panel at the vetting committee and at the appointing committee any report akọ. No I can say oh because of any beinti no ye dey enti ase. That's why it's not possible. That is why so when it gets to the primary they talk about it. You do we are not can say no. That's why almost all the time when they don't understand or they don't agree to a particular reporter, they about say minority report, majority report, but there's no way that we have a majority report and minority report. So far as you take a decision, say this is the report as to whether say you take part or you didn't take part. No, this is a report from the committee, and we go by it. So for me, I think the minority sometimes no, they do things that MYA, and I want to advise them. Look, it is better say we all move to your friend is saying asino. So now you call for now moving to see how much some or preparation to it because we are in this country. The same person who today is asking for the report, he benefited from it. I got benefited from it. The same person.
From which report?
The same person. On who can say or per report no answer or further questions or bisana. He has been a beneficiary to the same case like that.
Note one can say on for so or say I want to see the report. Whether we benefited or not.
Question. Let me say. Yeah. Question. Whatever question he want to ask. He has been the beneficiary to that same issue about in this country.
Mama Nenkasa.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
So I don't know. Meaning the or patch say and then essence say obi ntino. Oh, we are saying your report no. Una report na then.
Aha.
No. See, I don't understand them.
He's representing his people. They are lawmakers.
Yes.
These are law implementers and sometimes lawmakers too. And obey a whole chief justice. Oma sama omo kaye no. Ebetimi abaye mra. Ana aye mra. Aye beda.
Aye mra.
And was inti mami hwebi. Na mi wo kosa bia mabuta mami no. Wo se na aye den.
Judgment, your ma judgment no. Yanche time reporting very ready for them to come for the report.
Omo kire ya na lawyer.
Easy yeah.
They say so.
Aha yi amanyo sem che no to na.
And the ready amano.
Oh David but say me tin na me di kan bisa ne say emblem no.
Somebody made kind I respond. I
felt you explained it more like a lawyer. And see omo kan ye say in a month's time or in a 2 months time the judgment the food
they will definitely give you a timeline.
So then
but my point is say
know your point. Thank you. There being country
so if a timeline has been given to you, say next month Usabeka reporter, I'm asking the question say intino yenken till next month and say abetino. Now so second next month are we calling back to speaker say speaker now we have these questions, we have now received the judgment from the Supreme Court and intino your person veto ma many bioma na
e ho na your problem rest here
it will not
union
enko si baby
union enko
union government never boa Ghana mo that's because Ghana for unim ade a yema e bia no yemu adekro no ade a be boa Ghana je mehu Ghana for pa ne say ade a be ma o ma we akọ enim no nobody is committed to that cause ye de ye ni hwe baby ba ko na no an ye ni hwe and nobody seem to abrofo na de abrayin if abrofo de abande ye po ye be practice look so we have 1992 constitution e kwa fa so yi chief justices and ye promote friend say judges I didn't know president no papa where they were a lawyer and what mention lawyer you see all the three arms of the government no should be independent you feel be separation of powers me boana you feel be checks and balances me boana so say president an independent arm of government which is the executive now free or non territory a judiciary appoint CJ independency of CJ na whatever.
Well, and who are the right to question that?
Fine, what am I intro now? The president now to be called parliament. Pick ministers every as
pick MPs as ministers.
MPs and I'm saying parliament. Pick MPs from parliament to become ministers.
Yeah.
It is a separation of powers now whatever. But to be at this idea we
but the constitution is to say 50% or something.
No,
60% of the ministers should come from parliament.
I agree.
Separation of powers.
Madam, you can say separation of powers and the independent of all the three arms of governance now. It must be adhered to. Only a problem I always say, our mother here, that is where the problem lies. Because if your president, executive arm now, or control the other two arms of government. Because they say, oh yeah, somebody president now MP. Now me ministerial appointment. Now my Samba parliament here impeach me over support.
So your point is that my MP as a minister.
Of course.
Okay.
All that I will say, yeah, will be a job brand.
And then I just won't buy a constitution. Just say the two near truffle.
Oh, constitution where there. And talk to the room, but constitution to make function. Because we have a fundamental human rights in India, a conformal and globally.
Okay.
Your system of governance, any governance structures in the if you ma we papa of course master tie kadia bi president akoyi chief justice oyi ni we no obey a president ne crony. Do you know that we are then obey show some biasness towards the presidency. Saasuna anano keep it can for that issue better way. MPP for crowd sorry say no papa what money could ditch but because of excessive powers reposed on the executive what's mean kwame I could for one person I will not agree I'm packing for that so
one that I will not agree what's munya but no only deal
only negotiation
madam any part of negotiation any part of negotiation with IMF you were 1001 Ghana minus Kenufuriata. You see?
Says Adekye, who is not the president.
You see, Obaya?
Yes, Papa.
Your system of governance, no? So your problem will be to take the whole country to a ransom. President appointed 5,000 people into positions and use these people as conduit to do whatever they want to do and get out.
Masa people no credit kakra.
Meba
omuso wo madwen.
Why?
But okay so you see omo as conduit they na just any omo
that is what is happening. President Assembly of party communicators, a friend say institutional heads, ministers obia conform.
But then there should be clear direction. The leader should lead. A leader never can say no more maka.
President ade bill call parliament say you better about MMDCs on partisan line. I move be started say advocacy say no. As an powers the be executive no. President at the court parliament approve ama ya letter commission ska ama wa ya notice of pools. President say ma twasa na parliament no win atwasa. A letter commission ska the man in na ya kase am no kase. What kind of a society in here building? And everybody doesn't seem to sit and take a national introspection. Say no. And yamana ya de ibu ama nhihye na edi enya. And your personality, but Ghana for the area of personalities Obaya.
Yes.
Obia no ya criminal ya wu no. But oba ba bia obekọ no. E share ho na inform ne obeye. Ghana ya share no e de akọ ya chi. Kwa na de Ghana akọ na chi. Kwa na de Ghana akọ na chi CJ. In other jurisdictions.
Also Brenas.
Medisi. In other jurisdictions. Oko Singapore all the justices no. Whom go good them be am 7. Yes, we minus you. 6 now can one person be chief justice. The aketi electoral college for them. Woman na to be yi CJ. Whom we are not come president. Sa question kra obi busa ma me no a program na say independence of judiciary no. Ye who say it has been trampled upon. E de be yi. O kan na mo de wada obi apese be waye nimu ama omana afa no wadi. President the promote justices. He who feels you controls your mind. Omana say na achim Ghana for sianse 1992 constitution mu a nyani nyina emu a ye be ye dan yetimi ko enum da.
Thank you. Game Boy G just say this MPP power they are doing checks and balances. Then tell us that they don't need to vet her. President should just appoint her. Agunaba MP from Kaswa Adam Nana. NPP government is a listening government and has good policies for his people. Ghana is working and will get out from this economic crisis. Enti onosone die no sisi anu bre no na ya hwe oto no asa but as say can education na say ye beka petrol SA ni GNPC board chairman deal na enti honorable ye be sha say also 5 minutes the opese wo kan ho asem laptop say be replace textbook say wo SHS a be sha say this year ana wura Fred Blaze say you we CSUs ma horo mensa de hin na pese wo kan ho asem
no issue of the laptop issue, but before that, Mamin TBB Kakra
920.
No problem. Mr.
925.
Say because of president and I appointee MNDCs, whatever, and you know, our control, our muso. It is not so. The point is that the constitution emma the president the mandate and authority to appoint. So, okay, say there are some institutions, as I say, a amendment in our constitution. So, there are powers in every president, so you can rise through the mill to hold the position of maybe IGP, chief of chief of army staff, and I say chief justice, and I say whatever it is. I agree with you, but you cannot tell me, say, because of president in appointing, you know, they listen to your friend, the president. It cannot be so. Then on the issue of say, you might use Fosika to create a friend and say, assembly elections, they say partisan and all those things. Yeah, I was in parliament at that time. The decision, the bill I did by year 2. 1 is to create regions, and 2, the other one, no, I say, you be a referendum to have your friend saying MNDCs elected. I can tell you for a fact, say, you can't say assembly election and you're partisan, but when you go on the ground, it is partisan. So what is it? What is this a presidency? I don't know much that can say we are special eyes, but me be one and special eyes. They are different water. My MBA won't preku. Enjoy sa hypocrisy about
that. That's them come in country, but who could fast argument in about na can say any jantres ye mretia but crofusi. Chrono bomb unim jantra okay and now chrono emeretia na so crofo and legalize.
Yeah.
Can't we think of a way around it than to say because
politicians, there is no way our politicians will be fair in that deal. I'm telling you.
All right.
Look, it is something that Ubekai in 2007 before the 2008 election. I said the now the national chairman of the NDC. Ebeka chair said they have won a lot of the your friend say assembly election in the various constituencies, and therefore it will let them win the general election in 2008. Yes, indeed, it came to pass because it always precedes the general election. Okay. So politicians involve themselves deeply in the assembly election. So they say, oh, appointment. Sen ka conform be ka say yempe DC we yempe DC we. One also be ka say on pay NPP. Obi me ka say on pay NPP on the say control about 4 years. So if I appointed a DC, you cannot say I don't like him because me call her on free me call on say na ko yin free hono. Yeah, on the issue of laptop. Say na vice president kan no. Say no ye koyenim. I have a small 4-year-old boy in the house. To be honest with you, sometimes no, or on the iPad, and you go and you catch or say, or any project work. In fact, me 4 years, me 10-year-old boy, or class 5. Why I see that I leave my laptop and see for what? I have no project work. I'm saying, hey, project work. Project work. There's me continue to university. Now primary schools will be project work. So now you do a stage whereby and the vice president is saying, going forward. Now send a book, no. Let's go the digital way of providing them with laptops. Yeah. Recently I went to Denmark to do some course. The day we are going to write the exams, I thought say you my paper you exams no obi laptops in him. Now obi akotenase questions wo and your question be Adekye question is different from lawyer question. You can't even copy anybody. Now you key in your password given to you, your ID number given to you by the school. Now questions number, you answer it. Who we are? Now you click it. Less than some few minutes, it is marked and then you get your results back. I mean, we are moving this country to a way a do may say to me, yes, there might be challenges in some of the places, which I agree perfectly, because there are some places that there's no network. So the question is, what are we going to do in that rural areas to help them? Because it's always going to be said those that are in the city, might be benefiting from this laptop issues than more rural areas. So what are we going to do? How are we going to do to help them? We need to improve of your network system to ensure, say, yes, there are some schools who do
improvement.
Oh, yeah, say BBI a pilot. You shall say, oh, baby, know the challenges and as to how you deal with the issues at stake. If you shall say, they will say, these are the problems. But for me, I think say if we have to do a pilot project and we have to start something, it should rather start to be our problems, to see how best we can rectify it. Because there's no school in Greater Accra here.
I said, what clarify, but only the MT can read. I'm not seeing the pilot. Form 3 form no cancer, unfortunately, or benefiting because or free system. But said okay, it's a minister catching so you to me and shall.
Yeah, that's what me catch. That's what me can say. Yes, you be shall say, you shall say, will be to me shall say, preoccupied. There will be a processing as to how you be shall say and crime be faso. But what I make say, I would prefer say, if we are going to start this project, we should start it at the rural areas where they will be having challenges and see how best those challenges will be resolved than to start at the places we don't have or how be because you shall say that's a cost you maya you feel so all is war. But when you get to your friend is saying a village
can we cry Nancy?
Oh, say pam the any problem.
Pam question no crab timekeeper boss. Once a one. Today I'm keeping time. 9:26. Time now so Papa Obaka the petrol essay and now Obaka education laptop.
Say petrol the papa so atwe say. Etu akotwe de da.
Oh GD to atwe say.
Say waba bon tindi here.
Okay.
Dia what de ye me dem de petrol.
All right.
Na me nwe say about why to assembly no ebi call partisan. My brother Emran say non-partisan. It is a more under your supervision. More to me, I'm an Australian non-partisan. Yenya will be a nibi. Now, what Tiasasi so, when Yamama Wagene, what so don't pencil, wouldn't Ghana for and penny for. They don't want a change. They don't want us to challenge the status quo. The Bonia Biano, Yanin to Yakas and the Babway. Ghana, we need to create a constitution yet tailored to suit our ethnic system, our chieftaincy, our environment, our mindset, everything. Look, until say Bessa, Yakwa and Amson may say, the Coffee is can be good Ghana because many Fikakra, Yesusa, Minimia benefit. Yesusa, not buses, or son and I'm Temo baby. Yesusa, not train Quack Masia Krata Kradi. Yesusa Ghana Airways. The first time I make London. me give us on arrival Ghana always and never when you boy environment boy bibia na me dem be a boy and mo say yan to aso na utu anamon na anamon de ko wachi a
and the democracy in Amana
partisan democracy is not good for Africa.
Now we should now enjoy na partisan democracy.
I can champion partner me to ni.
Na no
me ba na soja mamuo.
Oh okay.
I can no soja ni but nyama wo ye ene hia na Ghana no. If we see a call for Republican constitution we sa nipa danso man estate osisi ye ene Kumasi be bia no champion ye ene ma papa wo. Wa wanye bosianda. Operation feed yourself. Me phone you so Dunkwa secondary school 1974 me ya kire omo tro koma aban say omo hia ba bia because o my operation feed yourself school na ka say nnuane a omo provide no ebe so school no me ya mo akan paper no ye to na
de ko so obre ni
ye to no na sabi mpreduasa ye ho say ye nye hyehyɛ ye ntum just the boni dia ba emia ye look oba kan
fama papa in
fatu screen so 1974 what you say eti dey kan say ye raba omia mumba nyina mra drawing table ba bia nam ye tin saw the laptops be my school phone from awomo I was saying national policy a direct Ghana education service e come be fast so ye be go through technological advancement any digitization a wo kan ho asem no. And that's what Daniel ya say with the laptop a commerce school for without the recourse to even assess say uko you ko to no a bit da form natural enkwala no say primary education o maguro focus bi ani hobie
adan na egu me ka say ho na free ne sha say
why madam jaja say wa po bia de ba ko private school.
Oh, we are sure.
Oh, access right.
Say unkron ketu animu no so omo ni private schools wo.
And let you we did that for my and school boy akonwa si dem nyina hetre. First come first serve. Wa man tem onya akonwa school.
Eno de baby kura bi nsi hom.
Na me nua baba bi aya kodure. So wo hwe Ghana se wo ye nipa ye nya 60 plus. Na ye timi mo ye ho modern se akonwa kura akodetan so ye timi provide. But you have a president open to me, you know. About the country with the laptop over. But the fundamentals, the basic, I am very weak.
Okay.
It will be other than I'm saying
1 minute, man. If I'm kind, what the animal?
Kind.
Okay. Students to feed themselves.
I'll forget to Nina Bra.
Oh, okay. Tuesday, September. Tuesday, September 17, 1974.
Correct.
Students to feed themselves. The Dunkwa secondary school, as formed the next academic year, will acquire government subvention.
Which is expecting now?
To pursue for Gary and plantain to feed themselves. According to Mr. J.Y. Aka, head teacher of the school, this was because the school 4 acres operation feed 40 acres operation feed yourself cassava and plantain. Plantain.
Adekye ubedi.
Said o sika no. Say mo tie no enko yesa.
The school 40 acres.
Obi ka de enko yama menka.
Oh, say, ube say ma me kura manya case because say I think I mean na ese meji ade ne kan say me awa no.
The school 40 acres operation feed yourself cassava and plantain form would yield more than school require. Okay. Other crops under the program include over 10 acres of each of the maize and yam and 10 acres of coconuts and vegetables. In an interview.
Oh, so okay, headmaster. But there's another one. So buso. Okay, feed yourself with ama ebi kura kachi. Papa lawyer.
But another addition be one say. Almost say they are going to also. There's a farm.
Wow, can I hear the one?
They are going to. They are going. But this thing I've been talking about. Say they are going to have about 1,600 beds. In the school, no, beds.
Beds, as in the normal birds.
Okay. In Kuko. And then they will get the eggs and all those. And I've been saying this. The last time I was on one of the stations, and I said, look, some of these things we need to do it. You go to most of the secondary schools.
Yeah, read. Hey, Papa lawyer, you go.
Yanga on Jananyo.
Obe wacha wajanza unimsade wa wanka. Papa yaka kenga mwana afela. Papa lawyer, ko be ka dey. You be laptop to school and answer.
Yeah, me dey me nyama fra.
Okay, 32 until 37 what?
No problem.
The first thing I deal with it briefly for the blame issue. You see, that better make me bizarre assembly. So that about I'm putting it na about
Wednesday.
Last week over.
Over last week Wednesday.
I'm sorry, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. So me bizarre question be say bit approach you. You must see say agapade na na see ekoton. E wo ye nchen ya nton yi. E dey on how na the brain.
Okay, so Friday, because of Friday, many CSO interview, no say, yeah, to free me another
function, yeah.
Roughly, I'm just $165 million. Now 164 point something around in here. And the first oil inya woman cotton, you know, we sold it around $295 million.
So you're trying no 160 million or less
165.
Okay, what the yeah, 170 million put it on. Okay. Your first proceed film by in 200 million.
295. And I'm sort of operation cost ben 80 something million.
You see?
Yeah.
So what did the film another I didn't know at one a more account. And so
in truth, said the CSO Papa no yen analysis not a more.
That's a reality. But also the mentality of the MPP are influence so that capitalist lifestyle they don't believe in state-owned enterprise. It must go to the private person to manage it.
But the interesting thing is petrol essay and a private man.
No.
It is said GMPC was South Africa, so the man made me understand.
No, I get it. I know. As an African institution, I say we are Nigeria, I say be NNPC. I'm saying Nigeria for them. My point is say I don't know why so what you mean now they come under sister company that is a wow. I've been coming away to India. What are you going to achieve? So would your man was a man who wants to be here? What? Yeah. I don't know where you're dear, but not being one and that care you see another technical institutions. This kind of petrochemical engineering and so on and so forth.
You might.
So that's it. But your interest is to say, young from Koma, want to see non manage. One minute, where would you want to manage and send it for more and for her be a so why do you want to turn it off? But like I said, because of their mentality and that capitalist spirit in the woman, we will continue to experience this. Having said that, let me move on quickly too. But we have some kind. I say on my laptops.
Yeah, the textbooks and be called laptops. So basically, SHS be called digital.
All right. This is Daily Graphic Online, and if I'm permitted to read, let me read just one line.
What can do? I am my date.
Martin, remember dating. Okay. Daily Graphic Online. All SHS students are to receive electronic tablets in 2023. Electronic tablets.
Okay.
In 2023. This is dated 18th of January 2023. The report came out at around 8:13 a.m. in the morning.
About this year, January.
This year, January 8th.
Okay.
2023, yeah, and then the time on publishing here was 8:13 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
This is the vice president talking to you.
Oh, Graphic Online.
Graphic Online.
Okay.
So which year are we now?
We are still in 2023.
Same 2023. January. Was you better tablets? If I don't kind of story, I don't say that one. Was it? Let me quickly read that portion. Was it the vice president said he had been informed by the Minister of Education that the country was on course to provide tablets which will be preloaded with textbooks and pass examination questions to all students.
Could it be the same thing now?
Yeah, there are two different things.
Oh, sir.
Laptop and tablet.
No, I've also got information from the Get Fund administrator say tablets and a dema and a laptop. Yeah, the same thing that you also reading.
But controversy the new publisher.
Thank you.
Page 2. Government has announced that all senior high school students currently in their first and second years are to benefit from a free laptop embedded with the required textbooks and soft copies laptop.
Thank you very much.
And the nationwide distribution starts this year. By this new policy, the laptops would replace the hard copy textbooks.
So what?
Okay.
So just can we also give him the benefit of the doubt?
It's a tablet, it's not a laptop. And you see January.
I don't know, yes, I am fine. Lawyer Yonko.
Yeah. I was say, baby, I'm doing tablets and laptops are never the same. They can be used for similar purposes, but they are never the same. And even the prices alone are not even the same. The cost.
Okay.
The cost of buying a tablet and the cost of buying a laptop ain't the same. So what I say, you mentioned tablets some few months ago, January. And I was sure when the education minister was saying about China and Manu ya. May also could never be the same person. Okay, there's a laptop massa. What kind of person is this? It would therefore was a fair was a baby.
Okay, same tablet and can your problem okay.
Now no company can give us say what can be what. What's here about? Yeah. And I'm going to do our discussion minister shop was about to see
okay,
now me no person can what here. Oh
no. You mention say he made a statement. So say we make clarification from him.
I do hear clarification. We can't what say we hear.
That means what is the statement was in January 2023. And Vice President can say 2023. 2023 has not even ended. So it can be into a child also on a panel said
so what changed from the laptop from the tablet to the laptop?
So it can be miscommunication. Who? From the papers.
You have
the Vice President. Vice President. Have you listened to him yourself?
Open video no.
No, I'm just asking you.
I want to say something. It's open by the man on my budget. That's what promise. O can afford so the Uber be replace. Because so be piada ka. Asebia
o kan na na e se kono.
Jeneti, e se no doso. Ni so ka sa o ka depends o do tell us. Nti me abon no get
say bed
distract. No, Mr. Father was not na dey wati. So I'm just letting you know that he said tablets. Tablets so January.
Okay.
Was somebody now June? So May was May. I catch us or this time or laptop. What they are the corner say this man, lawyer, this man. Dr. lies is becoming concurrent to.
Official by say you grant here $17 billion.
You're excellent. You're excellent.
And the China
means some Kayan and Bonton I Abrusu.
You. Okay.
And the earlier he sit up and be careful with his own words, the better for him. Because Adekye was a question. Which is which? So now are you bringing the tablets or you are bringing laptop? Because you know
yɛmfa no nsi wɔ na nyame adom me sure so wuti o hwenti obeba be clarify am na say communicators obeba be clarify laptop o say tablet o yesre mama lawyer na ni team ni thank you on that note ebeda mo ate pastor no pay mobile lawyer Chumberry my NDC communication team member pacho no titia no ho ampa no ebe opani Adekye benkum so no na the team finfini ne yewura kwasi adai Adekye ono ne founder Emma Union Government otu se na ebe union government is the way to go. And honorable Ebenezer, me who so much odi ni nyina ta me show Facebook no. Gilbert crack home. She. Enti Ebenezer Gilbert ni na nati. And so a former MP Ablekuma Central. Obekwa na.
For sure.
Okay. Obesianko.
So I campaign manager no.
Obetan be family campaign manager o tan be so kra me hu ba bia one na. Me de ja me na me ntimi. Me ntwi ebo me de me mu. What be pass am ahye me ntumi nye me tro de metumi aya ani we anope da mo ase papa passe mo baaye ma na la ya obekọ bia na obekọ akogina osi no o de onka ampa o mawie uni akokoduro we da fa wanka uni akokoduro
ni klase na ha ye
sao
na se obekọ aje so okuta skabun eti etia
na la ya ni be na ehia no papa na o ska na o te o sa
na o ska de nti na o se kopto vote. Why was so costly?
Now, so didn't know about how this okay, Tessicaboom. You're not kind.
I said, when you can't have
union government, dear. Said in the year, Bridges said, I can't any bomb puni, ye union government in Muyepa. May that Zelvoga say, and the Monday me blaze a fair or Paman Pacho, corporate woman, also contact Zel, non sort out, or casual so now, Pama Cacho say, a style for every story, and for every occasion. Oko azela obinya osene watadia ebe match ne pepepe friend 0244 155 266 na daroma ena ohye matade ene mede de yakrama nyame adwo ochena Adekye Nsroma besia ba ye dase papa.